Hello, my name is Elliot Peterson, and this is my personal narrative. I would like my personal narrative to be on coding or video games, because that is where coding is mainly associated with. The evolution of coding has come a long ways. We see it in gaming in the very beginning and small, simple circuit computers for basic functions, and it grows into small video games, such as something like this. This was the original Mario map. And you know what? I think this is one of the many things that coding has brought us is video games and the evolution of coding and how it's going to change the world. Once we see this, we think this is really old, but it transforms into something like this, where insurmountable amount of detail and just every little thing is thought about. And this brings me to one of my values, and this would be enjoying your work. You know, Football players talk about a lot about how much they love their work because they do what they love. They've been playing it since elementary school. And nerds love coding. It sounds kind of bad, but honestly, I mean, hey, I'm happy to admit it. I'm a nerd, and you know what? I love making simple games. Just really simple ones because I'm nowhere near this, but it's really interesting and it's fun. And this is the football stadium, for the coders, and this really brings me into enjoying your work. And you can enjoy your work, especially in this new work field. You can do what you love and make lots of money doing it. This is the evolution of Mario, but it symbolizes quite a bit more. This is the evolution of coding, if you really think about it, because you get over here, you get the 1981 Mario, and it progresses all the way into the 2008 Mario. And you know, you play it without thinking, but every time you move, that is a change in code in some part in the video game. And you're tampering with the game. So you have a say in what happens in the game. This it really changes when you're playing online because you have to compensate for what everyone's doing, and it's so amazing how much can go on at one time with the power of a computer, and I think that is not thought of very much. This is just an example of a game that a high school student made not too long ago. You see the Hulk versus Iron Man, and it's just amazing. It goes more into the fact that the code is changing, and even though it's simple and it looks like from something from like the 1980s, it's still a game, and it's amazing how someone in high school created this. It can be done, and it's not just talk. It does happen every day. And for those of you who, don't think that this is very practical in the real world, well, this is one of the robo-dogs from that DARPA created. And this is where they created a robot, and it has basic functions, and it can compute so fast that if you were to push it hard on its side, it can compensate and stand up. So, like, if you were to kick it, or if you were to just try to make it fall over, it's almost impossible because it can just compute that fast. And this is where coding is being applied in the real world, or not the real world, but it's meeting the physical world. Before you saw virtual reality staying in virtual worlds, now you can almost in a sense see virtual reality coming into the real world and you get to see it. And honestly, this is my second value and of staying in tune with the world. You can take things that before used to seem outlandish and non-practical for the real world use and transform them into something that eventually the world can't go without. So thank you for listening. My name is Elliot Peterson, and this was my personal narrative.